The American dream, at least in my opinion, has always been to become a homeowner, to own a home, to raise a family, and to actually get the American dream, get your own little piece of real estate. And it's what I've helped families do over 20 years. And talking to my son, who's 20 years old, one of my sons, and talking to clients, day after day, and reading this article I want to share with you from Redfin got me kind of feeling how desperate that Gen Z and millennials feel from being able to obtain, the American dream of owning a home, that they feel like more and more and more that that's just not going to be possible. You look at this article here from Redfin, they say 1 in 5 millennial respondents believe they will never own a home. 1 in 10 Gen Z believe that they will never own a home. And lack of affordability is number one barrier to homeownership for young Americans. And nearly 46% of millennials and 1/3 of Gen Zers say lack of ability to save for a down payment is a barrier. And more than 1/3 of Gen Zers and millennials say mortgage rates are too high. And then they break down here kind of what their, things that are most in the way of them being able to buy a home. And of course, available homes being too expensive, which is true. When you look at median income, it has not really changed over the last 10 or 15 years. Median income has just been crawling up at a very, very slow pace. At the same time, the median price over the last few years has really jumped much, much higher, especially when you look compared to median income. And so it's not a shocker, it's not a surprise that they would say available homes are too expensive. And of course, mortgage rates are too high. They're higher than they've been in a long time. And though they are likely to fall, it still makes affording the payments much harder. And of course, ability to afford mortgage payments and the ability to save for a down payment. Now, this is where I think that it's really important to get in the mindset of families and young people that want to buy a home, because they usually don't have a lot of money. And even if they make good money by today's standard, if you're looking at a starter home, median price is around $400,000 to $450,000, depending on the area. You're going to need to spend $3,000 or $3,500 a month to buy a home. And even though rents have gone up, for a lot of first-time home buyers, that is a big payment to swallow. And the answer is, one, not everybody is ready to buy a home. That's just a fact. But two, if clients qualify and I could put them in a time machine and push them 5 years in the future and bring them back, one thing that would happen is they would say, you know what, I'm ready to buy. And the reason is because we are going to have this constrained supply for the very foreseeable future. And there's a reason why Redfin and Black Knight and Case-Shiller and Zillow, CoreLogic, all of them predicting a fair amount of appreciation, because the market is going to be very similar to how it feels right now, limited supply, and rates I think will fall. Fannie Mae's predicting rates to be closer to 6% by the end of next year, but that's just going to push more people in the market and even make it harder for people that are trying to buy a home. An interesting stat that someone told me, as I said, Rayce, we're going to wait till prices come down. Foreclosures are already up 25%. So I looked at the numbers, and foreclosures are up to 344,000, which is a big jump. 25% of the people are now underwater compared to where they were. But to put that in perspective, when you look at 2007, 8, and 9, you had almost 16 million people that were underwater. So there's just no place where this magical amount of inventory is going to come from. And it's really about educating clients that if they qualify now, we are sometimes doing an hour Zoom call with clients just to go over the numbers. If they refinance in the future, the payment could drop $300 or $400 or $500 a month, to get them confident to know that if they are ready to buy and they feel like they can afford it, that it's only going to be more expensive and harder if they wait. And I think educating clients and spending time with them is the magic answer to helping, clients or families, right? That's the way I look at it, to get to be homeowners and obtain the American dream. So here are some numbers for the Florida housing market that's interesting to look at for a minute. The median price is $404,000. Median days on the market is 40. And 16.5% of homes are still sold above list price. 26.8% of homes have price drops before they sell, and 97.5% sales to list price ratio. But I thought this was really interesting when you look at homes selling above list price, and this kind of drives home the point of helping first-time home buyers understand how different the market could be. When you look here in April and May of 2022, the average, it was 40% or more people, 40% or more of clients had to pay over asking price to be able to buy, where now we're down to 16.5%. So anyway, it's definitely an interesting time. I think there's lots of clients that we'll be able to help. You know, I was looking at a stat that there's 180,000 active loan officers in the United States, defined as someone that does one or more transactions a year. I don't know how that's active. If you can only do one transaction a year, I would not call that active. But they are expecting that number to fall from the peak of 180,000 to closer to 90,000. That's half of the loan officers out there. You're really, really going to need to focus, especially if you're working with buyers, is get a good daily success plan, figure out how to cast the widest net possible at the least amount of cost, because I think rates will drop. When you look right here at the probability tracker, this is for the Fed meeting coming up, 93% of people feel the market believes there will be a pause. That's also what I think will happen. And so I think we will eventually get lower rates, still probably won't have a ton of supply, and there will be more buyers to help as rates fall. So anyway, that's what the data says for now. I thought that was really good to look at kind of the mindset of people that are coming into the market, first-time home buyers trying to buy. If you have any questions on this, special loan programs for first-time home buyers, or anything else, reach out to me. I'd love to help. This is Rayce Robinson, your favorite Florida mortgage broker. Have a great day. Have a great week. I'll talk to you soon.